Don't tread on me. Of course, famous flag here in the Lone Star State. Welcome back to the Lone Star Soccer Report. I'm Jeff Power. We're here in Austin, and of course, the Austin Aztex are celebrating their finest season of their 3 years of existence. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, they're second as a professional team, first in the USSF. A lot of that success comes from their head coach, Adrian Heath. We caught up with him following a game. 49-year-old Adrian Heath was born in Newcastle, and let's just say this Englishman is living the dream as a player and coach of the world's #1 sport, soccer. On top of that, he signed his first professional contract with his favorite club, Stoke City, where he made 95 appearances.
Yeah, I was one of the kids that lived the dream. You know, I was the one who was on the terraces at 4 years of age with my father and my grandfather. We used to go every away game as well. So for me, eventually at 14, to sign for the club was a dream come true, and obviously a dream for my father and my grandfather. And one of the great things for me was my grandfather actually seeing me play for Stoke City. So that was a great moment in my career.
Heath signed with Everton in 1982 for a then club record £700,000, where he became the Toffees' top scorer and helped guide Everton to the FA Cup Championship in 1984, one of his favorite moments of his career.
Obviously winning the FA Cup and winning the championship the first year with Everton, you know, it was 26 years since they'd last won the title, so to be playing on the last day of the season at Goodison Park, knowing that if you win the game, you win the championship, was a special day for us all.
When did you actually meet current Aztecs owner Phil Rollins? And I understand both of you were Stoke City fans growing up.
Stoke's a very blue-collar area. It's, you know, steel town, coal, and as I was playing and going through the leagues, Phil was making his money, and eventually I think he ended up in Dallas. And then when he sold his company, he came back for a function, and I bumped into him then. And I was invited to the club because I was an ex-player who'd come through the youth development program. And at that particular time, Phil had sold out, and he was putting money in the youth development program at Stoke City. So we met then, and then a few years later, I come back and he said he's on about buying and putting a team in Austin, and we spoke about me coming out to work out here. So it was a good match. So he didn't have to sell it that much, you know.
Heath began his coaching career in 1996 as a player-manager of Burnley. He also had coaching stints with Sheffield United and Coventry City before joining the Austin Aztecs in 2008, one of the most difficult years of his career.
And then the first year of the pro team was difficult, to be honest. You know, it's probably one of the most difficult periods of my career because it's certainly the most games that I've ever been involved in where we lost so many games. But it was a huge learning curve for everybody, not only the front office, people who work there, but for me also. But I was confident enough once I'd seen the league and I knew what was going to come at us the following year that I would put a team together that would make the playoffs. We knew the type of player we needed. We knew the type of individual we needed in terms of their personality. But more importantly, we knew we needed to change and overhaul the squad from the year before. And it's never easy, you know, bringing people in and then a year later cutting them off the roster. But, you know, I think we got rid of 15 players last year. A lot of them were local as well, so politically as well, it wasn't the easy thing to do, but we had to do what was right for the club, and fortunately, it looks like we brought better players in, better replacements, to be fair.
You have to take a lot of personal feelings out of that, and sometimes it's difficult, and they made a good decision on a lot of guys, brought in a lot of guys that have been huge for this team this year. And so you have to respect it at the end of the day because they're the ones that had to make the tough decision. Phil's reaching into his pocket and, you know, paying money for good players, paying good money for good players. And if you can win a championship, especially after the season we had last year, it basically goes almost from worst to first. And that doesn't happen in sports very often. There's never that kind of turnaround. And I think it's something that the guys that have stuck around, there's only a few of us from last year, we take a lot of pride in, and the new guys have come in and turned around the entire mentality. And winning is contagious. I mean, everybody wants to be a part of it. And so if we win a championship, now everybody's like, the mindset of the community is, let's go check out an Aztecs game. Those guys, I heard they're really good. They're the best team in the league, and when you go, they score goals, and it's exciting and it's fun to watch, and everyone wants to be a part of it, right?
More fun than last year. You know, last year, even though I liked a lot of players, you know, there was always friction between some of the players, you know, and also that carries on the field. And this year, you know, all the guys are really nice people. They're very professional. You know, there are players that if they're not getting the opportunity to play, they still feel part of the team, and they work really hard during training sessions to make the players that are on the 11 play better.
But the Austin Aztecs had one of the most successful turnaround seasons in American soccer history, going from last place in the USL 1 to first in the United States Soccer Federation D2 Pro League with 15 wins, 5 losses, and 8 ties.
The aim at the beginning of the season was, can we make the playoffs? We've made the playoffs. The next aim now is, can we win the league? Can we win the Supporters' Shield for the team with the best record in the regular season? Once we've gone down that road, can we win the whole thing? That has to be the aim now. You know, this group of players have proved we've got nothing to fear about anything in the league. Now it's a mental thing. And from a coaching standpoint now, from me and my assistants, we just to make sure that they stay fresh, healthy, and mentally fresh for what's going to be a very, very interesting last couple of months.
What would it be like to bring MLS soccer to this city? Not only the opportunity to have Major League Soccer in the capital city of Texas, but also a brand new stadium, maybe even in the downtown area. How neat would that be to be a part of it?
Well, that's what we have to aim for, obviously. You know, Seattle have left our league, and now we're averaging 36,000 people a game. 36,000 people. You know, that's more than the Mariners are getting. You know, no, seriously, and that's what's happened in Seattle. That is one of the #1 sports until the Seahawks come round. You know, in Toronto now, huge crowds. I think Portland next year will average maybe 24,000 who are leaving our league. Vancouver are leaving. They've already sold 12,000 season tickets for the following year. That has to be ultimately our aim. But we need to keep building the product that we've got at this moment. And if we do, and more people come, then maybe that's something that we can look at as well.
This is our house. Of course, this is House Park where the Aztecs play, and like most teams, they have a better home record than road record. We'll see if they can do well in the postseason. Of course, we'll also check up on FC Dallas and the Houston Dynamo. It's all on the Lone Star Soccer Report. I'm Jeff Power. We'll catch you next time.